Welcome everyone. Welcome back to Snazzy TV. Bringing you another episode of one of our online creators, but this is a little bit bigger than just an online talent or creator, as you can see, right? So I don't even think this needs an introduction, but I am going to do an introduction. But before I do that, let me just real quick, make sure you like, subscribe, share, all of that. Got to put that out there. Again, this is Snazzy TV, and I'm your host, Alana. And this is a channel where we discuss, celebrate, and get into all the goodness that is our influencers. Let me go ahead and introduce my guest because, I mean, she needs no introduction. This is MJsRaven, everyone. I am so excited to have you here, Raven. Thank you for being with me.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Definitely. And you are one of the, I want to say only female Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yes.
That's huge. That's just huge on a number of levels, but we'll get into all of that is Raven, and talk a little bit about what you do and how you got to this amazing place, being so unique in what you do. And so, yeah, she is the only female Michael Jackson impersonator. I don't think I need to get into much more than that. But before we start talking and doing all the who, what's, whens, and wheres and all of that, I am going to do shout outs because I love to do shout outs on the show, just a way to show a little love to whoever we might be following this month. And so I'm going to just jump into it real quick. I am following at embodies. If you are anywhere on the gram or anywhere on social media, you may have had this young kid come across your timeline. He is, I want to say he's maybe 7 years old, but he is the most talented kid, I would say, that I'm following right now. And he does all types of really cool impressions. This kid has done Bernie Mac, Kevin Hart, I want to say Ice Cube. He's done Friday parodies. The talent is just limitless for this kid, and he just keeps me smiling. I love to see kids with talent online. So that is who I am shouting out today, Inky Boys. And they are a father and son duo who do some amazing voiceovers and impressions. I'm sure you'll be pleased if you check them out. So that is who I'm shouting out. Raven, you have anyone you'd like to shout out?
Shout out to everybody, just everybody. I believe everyone is gifted and blessed, and I want to give a shout out to everyone that is using their talent for all of humanity. God bless you all and continue. You're amazing, every one of you.
There we have it. Okay, so let's jump into this. We are going to maximize this 30 minutes that I have here with Raven because I know you are very busy. So let's just get right into it. So Raven, you are a female Michael Jackson impersonator. You have been doing this for 20 some odd years, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I know this is a loaded question, but how did you get to this place? And I'm gonna try to make the questions easy to answer without being too heavy for you to pack into one answer. But so when I say, how did you get to this place? Did you want to do impersonations as you know, in your early days, or because Michael Jackson is such a unique figure, he's so iconic. How did you get here?
Well, I've been a dancer my whole life. I was musically eclectic in my family. Performing arts has always been very, very prevalent in my world. So I was more focused on dancing in the beginning of 5 until my mother came across and watched, like the whole world, Motown 25, and asked me to come watch just him. Mind you, the show's already been going on TV for a while. My mom pulled me aside and asked me to just watch him. And I watched it and I'm like, Mommy, I can do that. So my mom was like, okay, get up, show me. So, I took my little jacket and started dancing, and I've been moonwalking ever since.
So starting this as early as the age of 5, I would imagine that impersonating Michael Jackson would almost take a lifetime of skill, training. How do you train? Or is it just innate? How do you train to become all that is Michael Jackson?
Well, as he's always said, a dancer dances from their soul. And some things you just know. You know your rhythm, you know your beats, you know your sounds. Your body moves to the music. And I've been dancing all my life, doing ballet, contemporary, Afro-Brazilian, hip hop, breakdancing, pop locking, and everything else. So I incorporated that into what he does because that's where he does everything. You have seen in all aspects of it. And it's a lot to train. It is very complex. He is the greatest dancer that I have ever seen. And there's other dancers out there that are absolutely amazing, like Gene Kelly, Jared Grimes, if we want to go current. There's a lot of dancers out there that are impeccable. And for me, I just watch the master at work. And the saying is, if you watch the masters at work and you become greater, my goal was to not become greater as him because I will never touch his pinnacle, but to show in my own way, a woman can do it too, and give tribute to the greatest honor I could ever give him and do this as a woman. So, yeah.
Have you had the honor of seeing Michael Jackson in person? Like, have you ever actually attended any of his concerts before he passed?
Absolutely. I went to a lot of his concerts, and I got to speak with him on my 15th birthday, and that was like the greatest gift ever. And he acknowledged what I do and told me to keep going, and he'll always watch out for me, in his own loving way as a dancer. I know, he's not legitimately going to be watching me, but apparently he had.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and it's so much more coming. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sure most people have encountered Michael Jackson impersonators in their lifetime. I go to Mexico frequently, and they love Michael Jackson in Mexico. I think the whole world just loves Michael Jackson, but in Mexico, I've been to different resorts, and they always have a Michael Jackson night. And that brings, everybody out, into the courtyard, and everybody, comes for Michael Jackson night. Yes. But again, I have never seen a female. Mm-hmm. So how, obviously gender, you differ in that aspect, but is that often shocking to a lot of people? Do people even sometimes know? Is it something you often present when you're booking shows? Are you telling them, hey, I am the female Michael Jackson impersonator? Is that a part of your act? Like, talk a little bit about that female aspect.
Yes, I do tell everyone I am a celebrity female Michael Jackson impersonator, so they know off the bat. My job is to perform as him, to give you the illusion of him, to give you the enjoyment of him, and yet differentiate myself from everyone else that's still around. That way it gives a unique quality to it, being a female, and of course, physicality, I am shaped.
Yeah.
Which is a plus, because it allows you as a dancer to move in certain ways that my male counterparts possibly cannot, because that's a gift. I feel being a woman is a gift.
Yes.
And that makes me like adjust my little bit of my fedora and my crown a little bit.
Yes.
And, give women out there the vision of, they can see, well, if she can do it, I can too. I can overcome any obstacles, not just because of my gender. And I think that's one of the other reasons why I do what I do, is to continue being an inspiration to young girls, to women out there, to show them that, hey, well, look, I'm living my dream. You can do yours too. Just,
Right.
work hard at it. And it's possible. It is possible.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So let's talk about Michael Jackson a little bit.
Yes.
So Michael Jackson is just so iconic, right?
Yes.
I mean, there are a lot of icons out there, but I don't think that anyone necessarily compares to Michael Jackson. He is just timeless. And it continues to show in every single generation that comes.
Yes.
Even 5-year-olds know who Michael Jackson is. Even today, you have a lot of artists that attribute Michael Jackson to their dance style. Chris Brown, Usher, Omarion. A lot of these dancers attribute their skill to having watched, like you said, one of the greatest. Why do you think Michael Jackson is so iconic? And I have my reasons why, but I want to hear, why do you think Michael Jackson is so iconic and timeless?
Because he broke barriers that most artists couldn't do. He touched all races, all genders, all orientations, all music barriers that are completely possible. He broke through them, and he did it with class. He did it with grace. And he did it with love and compassion. And it's genuine. And that's where people were drawn to him for, that was his genuineness, his generosity, his pure love for his art and for humanity. And people gravitated to that, besides the fact that he was a mind-blowing entertainer and humanitarian. It was that barrier that he broke, all levels, and allowed creativity in different formats. Music videos were just short songs. Michael made them short films. He made them, endless, so he's opened up the gates for everything, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Even today, some musicians who you wouldn't think were even thinking along the lines of using Michael Jackson as an example of their personal creativity. For example, Polo G, the rapper who just recently, the rapper Polo G.
I was about to say that.
Kind of like, he's a pretty hard-hitting rapper. And he had just recently sampled Smooth Criminal, one of my faves. And that was like, people were like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Polo G.
I want to mention that.
Just redid Smooth Criminal, and it sounds brand new.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. Sounds brand new. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit, Raven, about your fans.
Okay.
Let's take it back to you and talk about your fan base. Yes. So I've seen a lot of your shows and things. So the largest, well, I'll just let you tell it. What's the largest crowd you've performed for to date?
Largest crowd I've performed for to date. Wow. That was looking at like 500. 500.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty big. That's big. Oh my gosh. That's making me have heart palpitations just thinking about it. Okay. So when you perform, well, we'll kind of talk about your performance and your fan base, because I think those kind of go together.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
How do a lot of your fans perceive you? Like when you go and you do a show, what is that interaction like? Do you get people who like really see Michael Jackson in you, or is it more of I'm so enamored by Raven, who has chosen to do this who has this incredibly unique talent? Or is it, talk a little bit about that.
It's a combination. I get both energies. A lot of people see me and they see Michael. And then there are others where they see me as Michael, per se, but they still see Raven outside of that. So the energy is still very loving. So I get a little bit of both. It's fun,
Wow.
I think it's fun. I love it.
Yeah. And
Man, so amazing.
yeah, this is it's just so amazing. And thank you so much for giving me just a little bit of your time, because I know you have a lot of shows and things coming up, and we'll get into that in a second. So we can kind of give some of your fans some things to look forward to. So as it relates, going back real quick to the impersonation piece and male versus female, why do you?
It's never male versus female. I never look at it, and neither do
Thank
the
you
rest
for
of them.
correcting me. I appreciate that.
There is no male versus female. It's all one love and how you present it.
Okay. So when I think about impersonators, and I think most people think of it this way, you have a lot of males who impersonate women. So, and I think we're more used to seeing that. So you have males who impersonate Marilyn Monroe, and males who impersonate Whitney, and males who impersonate, who's another big one I had here? Oh, Diana Ross.
Cher.
And oh yes, Cher, it's a huge one. That's right. So why do you think there are so few women who impersonate male icons? Is it harder?
I know a lot of females that do impersonate males, but they're more within what they call drag kings. And I have the utmost respect for drag kings and their shows throughout the LGBTQIA community plus. Let me get that off the bat. I love them all so much. They're very talented women that do impersonate males, but they haven't crossed into the mainstream culture, onto the bigger stages, such as what I do. They keep it small.
Okay. So they're out there, just not as prevalent, I guess.
Correct. As Michael. A lot of them stick with like Queen and Elton John, Rod Stewart, things like that.
Okay.
Not many touch Michael. There were a few before, while I was new in the game, there was quite a few females, but they kind of decided their time was done, and they saw me coming up into the game, and they supported me and backed me up, and I love them dearly for that. So yeah.
Okay. One of the things, as I was thinking about this interview and thinking about our conversation beforehand, I thought Michael, not only was he incredibly talented, right? So you have to have the talent in order to, the talent has to be there.
Yeah.
But then I think there also has to be some unique nuances within your persona. Because you kind of have to have the look, you kind of have to have the style. Is that something that has come naturally for you over the years, or would you say it is you just kind of have just happened to embody some of those characteristics?
Well, physically, let's just cover that off the bat. This is all real. Off the bat, I get asked immediately, do I do surgery? No, I do not. Let's just clear that up.
Wait, say that one more time with people in the back.
All real, no surgery. This is me. I was born this way and blessed to have my features close to his, which is shockingly amazing, and I love it. Because I adore him, like I said. But getting back to your question, it helps when you don't have to put that much effort into it. It does make it a little easier. And then at times, where there's others, they do have to put in a little more work. I've always said it's not enough to just look like him. It's not enough to just sound like him. And not even so much having to dance like him. I feel in order to give your best, you have to embody everything about him, not just, hi, how are you? I'm Michael Jackson. No, you have to understand why he is the way he is, where he came from and where he was now. And to fully give your audience, your fans, your supporters that experience, anybody can moonwalk, but can you give it from the heart? Can you have that audience member, even if it's just that one, touch their heart and make them feel like they have Michael right in front of them? That's what I do. Oh.
Yeah. Wow. That is some kind of talent. I will praises. I will just go ahead and praise. That is some kind of talent. So how long are your shows typically? What's a good night for you in terms of duration of a show?
An hour and a half.
Okay.
Minimum 10, 15 minutes. Depends on
Right.
how long they want me on there. You can make an amazing impact in just 10 minutes, 2 songs, and you can impact millions. You can do an hour and a half and impact millions. Even if you don't do millions, if you can just make that, give people that moment, even if it's 5 people, 10 people, if you can give them that experience and that love, and they give that love back, that makes an amazing show to me. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Raven, have you done Vegas?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Really? Wow.
Yes,
What was that like?
Amazing.
I bet.
So much fun. So much fun.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, Vegas. Ooh, that's big time. That's big time. I mean, because you have been doing this for a really long time. So there's probably nothing you really haven't seen in terms of oddities. But if you could share, like, have you experienced anything during a show or something that was shocking? Like I didn't expect that to happen, or anything like that?
There's been a few.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a few where I've had to have security escort me to my car and follow me for a good 10 miles to make sure I wasn't followed. I've had some paparazzi reporters here in Atlanta follow me for a good 5-6 miles, literally taking shots as I was driving to my performances, which was kind of scary in a way. It was kind of scary and exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Let's
No
see.
problem.
Oh my goodness. I said, I started this out by saying I am a fan. I'm a fan of you now, having discovered you, but I'm also a big Michael Jackson fan. So, even as the journalist, sometimes we do get a little starstruck, and we, get a little bit more into, our interviews than most, because, we're human too. But I just find this to be so incredibly fascinating. Again, I've never come across a female Michael Jackson impersonator. I've seen many over the years, and you are the real deal.
Thank
really.
you.
I will say you are the real deal. And that's coming from a real Michael Jackson fan.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So let's see. So what is next? What do you have next on your agenda? Where are you going to be? Are you doing any overseas? What can your fans expect?
Well, I have throughout next couple of months, I have a show here in Atlanta coming up in April. I have 2 shows in May in Kentucky and in Wisconsin. I have another 2 more tribute music videos in pre-production that I'm going to be working on, and a few more interviews as well with other stations. And there's a possibility of going international. I have a few more conferences with them to discuss with my crew and my management. But there's a lot going on.
Has Hollywood approached you? Have you gotten any, and this is assuming you can say, have you gotten any calls or requests from Hollywood to do any type of to do anything for that matter, any type of productions or?
I would love that if they can get past the gender. Remember, Hollywood is still male dominated. It's been breaking a little bit. I mean, we've been doing very well as females, entertainment wise, not just what I do, but in general, women have come a long way. So I'm open to it. If they approach me, I'd be honored. Absolutely. But Hollywood,
Gotcha. And I completely understand that. But you know what I see in your future? I see, you know what? Hollywood, don't necessarily offer me anything. How about your own show, your own reality show as as the only female Michael Jackson impersonator?
A biography is actually in the works. A documentary is actually in the works that I've been approached with. So that's actually going to be filmed starting in May, end of May, possibly June. We're going to start filming my documentary, and I'm still kind of shell-shocked over that.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I think just checking my time here. I think our time is just about to a close. Raven, anything you want to share with the audience? Again, thank you so much for sitting with Before They Get Famous, Before They Get Famous is very subjective, right? Because I feel like you're already famous in your own right. So, but I just wanted to bring you to a different audience that has never encountered you before. So this is amazing. And thank you so much for taking a little bit of your time to hang out with me.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right.
I do want to let everyone know, like I stated, I appreciate and love you all for all your support, all your love. My crew, my agents, my management, but especially my fans. I would not be where I am without you. And I'm so grateful for you. So remember, we are the world, and you ain't seen nothing yet.
Awesome. Thank you, Raven.
Thank you.
We'll be watching you.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye.
Bye now.